in what could be the game of the week, no offense to Baltimore and Kansas City, the Indianapolis Colts are on the road at the LA Rams. This is currently 3.5 in favor of the Rams at home. 49.5 is our total here in this one. The feel-good story of the season so far, this Indianapolis Colts team and Daniel Jones getting out of the nightmare that apparently is New York and going over and getting in a good system with a good coach and some playmakers around him. And next thing you know, he is resurrected. The Rams, we were talking a little bit before we started recording. I went back. Everybody knows y'all were watching the show last week. I had the Rams plus 3.5. Maybe the worst beat I've ever had. I mean, I can't think of another one off the top of my head. When you can only lose the bet one singular way and that one singular thing happens, it's kind of hard to top how bad of a beat that was with all of that. But I think I at least come away with a tiny bit of questions from this Rams team. How they blew the big lead in the first place is certainly something that we can wonder about. And then we can see if Daniel Jones and them travel here to what should be a much more solid defense than they played. And again, it's a nice stern road test against what is probably going to be a team that's there at the end.
Yeah, in terms of bad beats, the only thing I can remember even close to this from a football perspective is I think it was a Chiefs Commanders game. I think they were still the Washington football team then, which I do miss, by the way, Washington. Just go back to being the football team. It's better than the Commanders. Big turnover late. The Commanders defense scores a defensive touchdown to get within the number. I think it was the last play of the game. But I mean, that Rams, to have that kick blocked, to have it returned, to have the defensive lineman for the Eagles somehow not get chased down, even though he's probably the biggest guy on the field, to have everyone on the sideline yelling at him to go down, and he doesn't anyway. It's just a tough loss. And this is a game, I agree. I think this could be the most interesting game, possibly the most important game in terms of figuring out these two teams, because, the Indianapolis Colts have beaten the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, and the Tennessee Titans. Two of those teams we know are bad, and one of them in the Denver Broncos might not be good given how that they've looked so far. The Rams are a good team. I mean, just even outside of that brutal loss to the Eagles, I thought they've looked good this season. I think this is definitely going to be the best defense the Colts have faced so far. So we're going to learn a lot about Daniel Jones. We're going to learn a lot about his ability to play against a solid defense. This is another spot where, again, I wish I could lay 3, but the Rams are 3.5 most places. I think it's a good spot to back Los Angeles, but even better, my favorite bet here in this game, give me the under. I think this is a spot where both
I'm glad you got there. That's the bet that I have as well. We share that one.
The defenses should dictate this game. Again, two teams that run the ball, that know the value of salting away the clock at the end of the game. I mean, in a total of 49.5, we could have this, 17-10 at halftime and still go under here, given how slow I think it's going to be in the second half. So curious to learn about the Colts. If they can come out, keep this game closer, even beat this Rams team, I'm done questioning whether or not the Colts are legit. This will be a great win for them, but give me the under here, 49.5. This is at least 2 points too high.
Yeah, two upper half defenses. I think it's worth pointing out, too, it does not look like Devontae Adams is going to play for the Rams in this game, which, if anything, should also limit, their offensive production in this thing. And so I think like you said, Jonathan Taylor's looked like the best running back in the NFL so far. We'll see if that's actually the case against a much better defense, but I think they're going to at least try. They're going to at least see. And I think there's going to be a lot of running early on with all that. And plus, just Daniel Jones throws very high percentage passes and without a ton of ADOT. And so that also keeps the clock running. I mean, like when you're hitting Tyler Warren over the middle for 7 yards, it's not a chunk play, and it just keeps the clock ticking. It's basically an extension of the run. And so I'm with you. That was one of the first bets I put in my account this week was 49.5. And if this thing happens to go up, I'll rebet it. Like if I get more points, I'll rebet the thing because I'm that confident that this thing isn't going to be a shootout.
Totally agree. And you said we might get a chance at 50.5. There's a little juice to the over here. I will circle back to Jonathan Taylor. We've talked a lot about DFS and leverage and things like that. This is a good week to avoid him. He has been a very popular player, and rightly so. He's the best running back in fantasy so far, but this week is going to be a lot different. This Rams team, again, really good defense, good against the run. I think they're going to try to bottle him up. So he's somebody, again, if you're playing DFS, if you're looking at player props, doing parlays and things like that, I would cross him off this week and let that go.